As America moves through this watershed moment in reckoning with racism and police violence, some black leaders in the greater Cincinnati area are opening up about their own experiences with law enforcement. WCPO's Monique John spoke to a few of them in Lincoln Heights to hear their thoughts on local police relations, what they make of the current unrest, and the change they want to see.
For Lincoln Heights Council member Durance Daniels, just seeing those flashing police lights when driving down the highway makes him break a sweat.
I've had multiple interactions with the police that have been embarrassing, uncomfortable. But once again, you feel like you cannot defend yourself or stand up for your rights because once again, you make a wrong move, your life is in danger.
Back in 2013, he was pulled over by Officer Stephen Roach, the same officer who shot and killed Timothy Thomas, an unarmed black man wanted for nonviolent charges in 2001. Daniels feared he could meet the same fate.
And the fact that my daughter was back there and my girlfriend is there at the time, as a man, you want to stand up for them, but then at the end of the day, what are you going to do?
The U.S. has spiraled into an unprecedented level of turmoil over systemic inequality, racial discrimination, and police brutality. As protests emerge in hundreds of cities, including Cincinnati, some are only now joining the war against racism. But the people in Lincoln Heights, a historically black suburb, have been fighting this war for decades.
Being in the African American community, as Village of Lincoln Heights, we may not have the riots going on, but our residents are able to participate, and we want them to participate in the cause for the rights of our black and brown individuals.
Despite its rich community, Lincoln Heights has become known as a microcosm of the deeply rooted problems black Americans face in the economy and criminal justice system. When it was incorporated by blacks in the 1940s, leaders were barred from claiming land that is now occupied by a GE plant, meaning they were excluded from a wealth of tax dollars that instead went to other predominantly white cities in the area.
There is so much lack in this region.
As Lincoln Heights fell further into poverty, the reputation of its police force fell with it. It shut down in 2014 after a slew of lawsuits. The village has since been policed by the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, but leaders say patrollers are disengaged.
I would just like for them just to make it seem like they're one of the community.
The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office released a statement in part saying, "It's unfortunate that our office has disappointed the leaders of the community. We're listening to their concerns, and we're willing to work jointly to address these issues." Some Lincoln Heights council members are discussing options for pivoting to community-based policing. The mayor, however, questions how to make that sustainable.
It may not happen today, but it could happen tomorrow. I'm not saying like next year, or I don't know, but I do know that it's going to take us making the right decisions on our economic development.
But these Lincoln Heights leaders do agree that today's uprising against racial injustice is a step in the right direction.
If you feel like there's nowhere else you can go, you can always come here.
Monique John, WCPO 9 News.